Good Thursday evening, everybody. I am Chris with FastBalls and Family, and we are here. People are starting to show up in the studio here. We'll give them some time to come in. We first our first live stream here, going over all Major League Baseball news, betting, and home run celebrations. I was just noticing the Baltimore Orioles. Is that they have a beer bong or a home run bong, dong bong they're calling it, where they fill it up with water and do beer bongs with it. That's crazy. I had never seen anything like that. Looks like the Orioles beat the Athletics 8-7 on a final today. Rays with another victory over the Red Sox, 9-3. These guys are playing some dominant baseball. A lot of fun to watch. Home run after home run. I think they have 29 home runs already this year. Insanity. The crew is in San Diego to square off against Josh Hader and the San Diego Padres, our old closer. I loved Josh Hader. We're big Brewers fans here in this house, and it was a hard loss, that one was. What else we got going on? We have the Rays rally past the Red Sox to improve to 13-3 or 13-0. Tied modern MLB record today. They set a franchise record with 13 straight wins to open the regular season. Let's see what we got. Rays on the verge. These guys are the real deal. I was listening to a little bit of their manager. They're just playing really excited baseball right now. The guys are loving it. It's a lot of fun to watch. We'll be having Heavy Steps on here this season. He's going to do all of our baseball betting. Phenomenal guy, huge Atlanta Braves fans. We'll also have Coach from Patriot Sports Radio, big Cubs fan. He'll be on as well. And it looks like we might have Nick from TSS Fantasy coming over to help us out with some baseball content. And of course, PSR host guy Eric. He got wrapped up today, so he can't make it today, but he should be here maybe next week. And some of the guys may be joining me pretty soon. If not, it'll just be me and you. If you guys jump in the chat, just let me know what you guys want to talk about and who your favorite team is, and we'll get into that. As far as National League goes, I'm all in on the Brewers. They're not going to be great, but they've only lost, I think, 3 games so far this year. And 4 games. I apologize. San Diego 7-6. Tonight's matchup we're 8-4. I apologize. We're on a 10-game road trip today. Today we're going to open up a 4-game series against the Padres. Padres are the real deal. Look at this. Who's going to join me? Coach is in the house.
Okay. First of all, I chime in. First thing I hear is I'm all in on the Brewers.
And I'm all by myself. Not one person showed up to hang out with me today.
We knew you were all in on the Brewers. We knew that from the jump. I had to come on here. I come out of the balcony. I know you're in on Milwaukee. I know that this is not a Milwaukee podcast. Okay?
Yet.
Yeah.
It was until you showed up. Now it's a Mustang Bronco
now it's
podcast.
not. Now it's not.
Coach is obviously a big Mustang Broncos fan. How's their team this year?
Well, we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
So I was telling everybody that you'd be with us this season and that you're the resident Cubs fan.
I am the resident Cubs fan.
What do you think about this year? What I mean, tell me your thoughts.
I tell
What's
you
the
what,
WGN crew?
I am more excited about this year than I've been in a long time. And here's why. We've got a young lineup, a young crew, a bunch of new faces. You know, I love the Swans, Dansby Swanson edition. Love that guy.
Yes, he's a ball player, right?
Oh, he's a
Atlanta's. They could do that because they had traded for Orlando Arcia, and he's doing really well over there right now. I think he's batting 336 right now with 0 errors, and that was his problem at Milwaukee. The kid would go through here and there cold streaks in the batter box, but he was really consistent batting. But my God, the errors from short to first. He would miss one throw and then all game in his head, and he'd miss it and miss it and miss it. Pretty soon he's having to throw it over to Wong last year, and then Wong get it over.
Yeah.
So batting 336 with 0 errors isn't bad.
No.
He's a hell of a shortstop. I love the trade. I mean, I love having Willie Adames there. Willie Adames is an absolute star for the Brewers and a great, just a great locker room guy. But you're right, Dansby Swanson. How about Cody Bellinger?
Oh, I like the
weird
Bellinger
to see him
edition.
in a Cubs
yeah, no, it is weird, but I got to be honest with you, man. I think I like what the Cubs did. I'm not sold on their pitching, which is much like every year since I've been a Cubs fan. Pitching is always the issue, but I do like. I like where we're at this year, and I like the additions they made in the offseason. I'm excited. I'm excited about the season.
You gotta be.
We're early in the season, but I love watching them play. I really do, and I haven't always been that way. Like last year I was not as optimistic, but I do like what they've done, and I love Ross. I think Ross is pretty solid.
I like it when he walks out to the mound. I mean, he's a player's coach. He knows what he's doing. I really like the guy. He seems respected in the clubhouse.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you hit a home run to help win the World Series, doesn't hurt you.
No, it doesn't. And everybody loves the hometown catcher, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's exciting. It's exciting time. Everybody's doing good, and you hit the nail on the head when I first jumped on here, man. I think I sent a message to you the other night. Dadgum Padres, man. They are a machine. I've watched them a couple times. Hey, that lineup is real.
There's no holes.
Nope.
For $400 million, you get no holes.
Yeah. No, they spend a lot of money, and they do. They got some dudes.
I don't know what's their salary cap. It's probably up in the twos.
It's got to be up there.
It's big.
It's got to be up there. So, I don't know. Got somebody.
What's Bodie say?
So what?
What's Bodie say?
Bodie's excited. I don't know. We probably got a neighbor kid wanting to visit.
You've been following Rizzo since he went over to the Yankees. Is he still over there?
Yeah, we have. We watch him a little bit. It's weird seeing him in a Yankees uniform, but gosh, he's a good player everywhere he goes. And they went ahead and invested in him. He's going to be there. So.
Yeah, he's he was I hate him because he's a Cub, but I love him as a human, right? He's just a good dude.
Yeah, he's a great dude. Dude. Great ball player, great teammate. I mean, all around, I think you can't go wrong with that guy. He's good people.
Absolutely. So who do you got this year?
Well, I mean, I love the dark horse of the Cubs to win the Central. I really do. I think that's something that could happen. I'm excited about them. So I like the Cubs. I think the Brewers are always going to be tough. They're going to be there. I think the The mystery to me is the Cards. I don't.
Yeah,
I
I was
don't.
just gonna ask you about the Cardinals. Where do they fit in here?
Well, and they do the same thing every year. Every year, you look at their roster and you think, man, this is the year that the Cardinals are going to be terrible. And
They make
man,
some magic happen at the trade deadline, and they're
yeah,
there in
every
October.
year they end up being, towards the end, they end up being right in the thick of things. So I don't know. I don't baseball. Baseball's so funny, and from year to year now that the trades and things that are the movement that's going on, it's just interesting to me. I think it's wide open, especially when I look at the Central, and I haven't spent a lot of time honestly looking at it, but the Cards I think are somewhere in the middle. I think more middle towards the top. The Brewers, Cards, and I think the Cubs are there too. And I think there'll be a three-way battle, just like it is every year. Um, I don't really know that the other two have anything going for them. What do you think? What do you like in the Central?
So, I mean, I love the Brewers. Atlanta's gonna is really good. Arizona's they're a fluke. I'm not in love with Arizona. I uh I gotta say that. Oh, did you say the Central or the National League?
I said the Central, but that's
Oh,
okay. We can
sorry.
talk National
Milwaukee's
League.
gonna take the Central.
Okay.
We still have Woody and Burns. I mean, our pitching's still phenomenal. We have great pitching, and if we can connect with the baseball, they're going to be a hard team to beat. I think that Turang is a great second baseman. He's young. Mitchell over on third. I like that kid. They've got some people they can interchange there. A little platoon there. Outfield looks good. Um, the bats is where I worry about, and they've been batting lately. Hey, real quick, New York Mets payroll $344 million for the year.
Yeah.
Second, New York Yankees, 278 million, and then running third, San Diego Padres at 245 million. That is a lot of money, man.
Yeah. You're right. The
Cubs
West.
down 182 million.
Well, we went out and spent money. We went out and spent money in the offseason, which is something that hasn't been done in a while. I don't know.
How do you
The
compete like that? Oakland A's 58 million complete. That's not even one contract on the Padres.
I think they made a documentary about that.
Yeah, I think they did.
Uh,
Brewers sit at 118 million for the year.
They call that Oakland A baseball. Bunch of no names.
They're gritty.
Yeah, well, that's one way to put it. So, when I look at the East is interesting to me because you got the Braves and you got the Phillies, and Philly, and you got the Mets, who obviously the Mets have paid the most
out of anybody in the entire league.
Marlins and Nationals, that should be a really good division top to bottom. And I think the Phillies have underachieved so far starting off, but we're so early. We're so early.
Absolutely. I mean, we haven't even figured out our batting lineups yet.
Yeah, I think by the end of that, the Phillies kind of get it trimmed out, and I think the Phillies and the Braves fight for the top two spots there. The Mets do what the Mets always do, and that's come apart at the end.
Right.
They're contenders until the All-Star break, and then it starts fading out pretty hard from there. And as I look at the West, like you were talking about, you got the Padres and then the Dodgers have always. What's the payroll on the Dodgers? It's got to be up there.
Yeah, let me look really quick.
It's got to be
Dodgers
huge.
number 5 coming in at 224 million. Only surpassed by the Phillies, Padres, Yankees, and Mets.
Yeah. So if I'm putting pen to paper, which I'm going to go ahead and jot this down here. I'm going to go in the East. I'm going to go with the Phillies, Braves.
Phillies, Braves. You gonna put the Mets in there? No.
I guess I'll go.
You wrote a fat check for shit.
Mets, Nats, and then rounding it out would probably be the Marlins.
Where do you got Washington? Did you say?
I put them towards the bottom. They're right there with the Mets. I mean, I think they make some noise till the All-Star break, and I think they just fade down the stretch. I don't know.
That's the problem. That's what the Brewers are going to do too, and the Cubs will probably take it over. I mean, the superstars usually pull it out in the second half of the season.
Well, and you know, you never know what you're going to get from the Cardinals. Are exactly the opposite. They'll flounder around, and then finally at the end, that you find them in contention with a few games left. You know, and then when I look at the West, you know, the West is crazy because, you know, you got the Dodgers who spent the most, but you got the Padres. So I'm going to go Padres, Dodgers. And then the rest, you could take your pick between the Diamondbacks and Rockies. Giants are probably right there. I'll go Giants, D-backs, and then Rockies.
I think the Padres are excellent, but managing those personalities, that's going to be the key there, I believe.
Oh, it's
There's
a deal.
some hotheads there.
Well, I mean, you know, we see that time and time again in the American League with the Angels. I mean, they got the two best players in MLB on their roster, and they can't seem to make a playoff.
Shotani, hey, that guy, right? He is cutting batters up, and they step out and they want to take a timeout or two or three to gather their thoughts, and they can't. And this guy is a rhythm machine, like Scherzer. Like, he is dictating that batter box. Like, I've never seen that. People are scared. They're hesitant to get in there.
He's the best player that no one's ever seen. And I go back to this of when we talk about modern baseball, when we talk about him specifically, you know, it kills him that he's on the West Coast because he doesn't get the media exposure. And literally he is putting statistics out there like one of the greats of all times. I mean, he's literally, you know, doing amazing things. I'm talking like legendary things, and no one sees it. It's terrible. It's terrible. How you doing?
Steps Coach is in the house. Everybody, this is a resident handicapper, Mr. Heavy Steps. He goes by Steps. Big Braves fan. We were just talking about how much Coach loves Dansby Swanson over there in Chicago now. He's loving that guy.
Yeah, I think the best stat that he has is unmeasurable, which is his clutch gene. So
yeah,
any big time spot in the game, he'll come through for you. So World Series, he came up clutch in the World Series that whole playoff, and I mean he did it throughout college too at Vanderbilt and in high school here in Atlanta. So he's been a winner his whole life. You know, they kind of dogged him a little bit as a first round or the first pick overall, you know, saying he wasn't going to live up to that, but he's got a World Series ring. He's on his second team, got a big contract, got a hot wife, and a new city.
It.
It helps.
Yeah, like, dude, these athletes go after those USA soccer players, man.
I know. They're like they've got some kind of draw to them.
Yeah.
JJ Watt do that too?
Ertz does. I know Zach Ertz, his wife she plays on the team. That's crazy. And then Dansby's girl, she's they just got married just before Christmas, I think. Her name's Mallory Pugh. I'm sure there's a couple other ones, but yeah, I mean, they should probably have a kid.
So we're kind of
pretty good.
We're sticking in the National League or the National League here. Steps, give us your thoughts on the Central really quick.
Well, I mean, Cardinals. What's the Cardinals record right now?
Cardinals are 5-7.
Yeah, so I don't think anybody really pictured that. Brewers are on top right now, right?
Yeah, 8-4.
Yeah, I mean that's a solid record to start off the year.
Pittsburgh 7-5.
That's surprising. Pittsburgh 7-5 is surprising. And how much runs they're putting up?
You hear the story about how many what?
They're putting up a lot of runs. No, like that's Pittsburgh this year has started off pretty hot.
61.
So, yeah, that's
most in the Central for sure. So did you see the story that for their, you know how everybody's doing these home run celebrations now? This is like a deal now.
Yeah.
We've got the beer dong where they're beer bonging water.
I think they changed the name of it though. It's not, they don't call it the dong anymore. No, they changed that pretty quick.
Okay. That
It was called the Dong Bong. That's what
Dong
it was.
Bong. That was it. So you chug a 20-ounce water. You can't play after that.
They should have put like Red Bull in there or something. At least
So,
Monster.
so Pittsburgh has this group of season ticket holders, and they dress like pirates. They
Yeah.
got their swords. A couple of the players went over to them and asked them, like, "Hey, where do you guys get your gear? We want one of those swords for our home run celebration." Well, then the fans hit him up on Twitter and was like, "Look, we have an extra one. We'll bring it to the next game." So they're using that sword. I love the fan interaction. Baseball needs that kind of marketing. They need their players to really be fan centric, right?
Yeah.
Because MLB is because they promote it regionally like hockey and it really doesn't get out there. You got guys like Showatani who is just carving mother effers up in the batter's box. Guys they don't even want to step in there and we can't even watch it. It's awful. Anyways, that's
no,
just me.
the Atlanta did something similar. They had like a parade into the stadium for their first home game.
Cool.
And it goes like through the little like they have like it's called the Battery right outside. It's like bars and restaurants. And one of the relief pitchers got like this big, huge foam. You know the hats that are the pitchers wear that are big to protect their head, the big ones. It was like bigger than that. And he grabbed it, and then at the first home run that was hit, they pulled it out and put it on. So it's like, what if you were the fan that handed that? You know what I'm saying, to the guy at the parade, and now it's in the dugout after a home run.
How cool is that? What if they all sign it and give it back? That's what I think they're going to do in Pittsburgh.
That'd be awesome.
Hey, let me shout out Rumble Bear with the machine guns in the chat saying love the Brewers outfit. What's up, brother?
I know Bear.
Yeah, he comes to all of our streams.
He does. He supports for sure.
Great guy. Great guy.
Coach, where you been, buddy?
Man, I gotta tell you, I've been burning the candle at both ends. I got a lot going on. I'm trying to finish a certification and trying to get a master's degree. So I'm almost there.
Okay.
July 27th, I'll be done, and then I'll have some more time. So
that usually means a little bit more money too, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, I'd like to hope so. We'll see how that pans out. But right now, you know, I think somebody told me today, he's like, man, it's gonna take you 10 years to pay off what you paid for that thing, getting it back. So we'll see.
I don't think so. Because well, you got a deal on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I got it on a deal, man.
You don't think Coach walks in and says, "Hey, I'll take a master's for full price."
Hey, we're on Rumble, right?
Yeah. Yes, we are.
You were trying to get that free Joe Biden education.
Hey, man, I'll tell you what. I got a daughter that fully believes that that's a real thing, and I'll tell you what, we go round and round about that. But
yeah, I think a whole bunch of people like applied for it, but has anyone? It got stopped, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think they shut that down pretty quick because, and you know, like I don't want to get into that, but I have a lot of very strong opinions about that particular deal. But yeah, no, she's on board with that, and that's what I've been doing. I've been, you know, I got baseball season going. My son's a pitcher, and he's been at it, and so we're right in the middle of that. We got about a month left of that, and I've got till July 27th, and then I'm done with school, and then I'll just be a full-time podcaster and young mind molder, I guess.
Yeah. So your son, is he in high school ball or is he playing travel ball?
He's a senior this year.
Nice.
He's a pitcher and he's a senior, and so they're right in the middle of their district run and trying to get to the postseason and stuff and see what happens there. So,
well, when I was in high school a long time ago, our team made state. I mean, we're a small school in Southern Indiana, but we had a pitcher that was going D1, and he went up against another pitcher. It's like the two top pitchers in the state, and this was the regional or the semi-state. So it was the night before the state. The game went into 10 innings. Both pitchers pitched all 10 innings.
Wow.
And our school won on a steal home, and it wasn't a pass ball. Wow. A steal home in the bottom of the 10th.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we lost the next day in state.
Oh,
but
wow.
I mean, a steal home, dude. I mean,
I bet
to win
that
a
was
semi-state,
nuts.
it was nuts, dude. It was nuts.
That is crazy. What
Yeah.
a deal.
So you get into college ball, or you just
Yeah. Oh, I love college baseball. I love it.
Yeah.
We watched a little bit last week. I've been kind of watching. My in-laws are from Arkansas, so we watch a little Razorback baseball. But here, my daughter goes to Oklahoma State, so she goes every once a week. We follow the Pokes. We're big Pokes fans, so. Yeah, I love college baseball.
The holidays. We got
it's
the
amazing.
holidays in the dugout in Stillwater. Watch yourself.
I just love the food at the games.
Yeah.
The high school games
get the segment.
Get the $2 cheeseburger that's been wrapped up in the foil for 10,
there
15 minutes.
That's exactly right.
People don't understand the foil makes the difference.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
Got that bun a little soggy.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, Steps. If you drink a bun or a hot dog out of a wrapped up tinfoil at a concession or a ball game is way better. Also, if you get a Coke, now they put it in plastic cups. In the foam cups, they're better. I don't know why.
No, I agree.
Coke tastes better.
It's the paper on the cup.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah,
it
is.
It's much better. Like you go to Burger King, get plastic, it's fucked. You go to Sonic and get styrofoam. That's the good stuff.
It's the real deal. Yeah.
Yeah. And I at home I wrap the burgers just like the ballpark.
I apologize to all the Seals and Dolphins, but it's just better. I hope you guys understand that.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
All right. Hey, can we get into the American League a little bit here, Steps?
Sure.
I mean, what's better than Shohei?
Oh.
He's the guy, right? They just don't showcase him. I think Coach had brought this up on Patriot Sports Radio maybe a month or two ago. Do you think he might get traded at the trade deadline, like a forced trade to get him out to the open?
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that happen because I mean, LA, you've got Trout and Ohtani, and you're still not moving the needle. And this guy is gonna get the biggest contract ever, and he's gonna be worth every penny of it because his pitching and his hitting are both elite. And he's this guy. Well, I don't know if we'll probably see more people like this in the future just because.
And it's the same dude. It's the same guy.
It's crazy what he can do. It's like dude can hit the ball, and it's not like he's a cheap hitter. Like the dude can smash. He can smash.
Yeah.
And he's clutch, and he's big time, and he's in the limelight, and he handles all of it flawlessly, and he's young.
Phenomenal.
And you got to think baseball hasn't seen a guy like this since Babe Ruth, and that was before we had any sort of media that was any remotely close to what it is now. I mean, the stories of Ruth are legendary. And this guy is just, I mean, it's rare.
Hey, Coach, and I know he's a physical phenom, obviously, right? But they build them different over there. Like, right? Or do they work hard? What's the deal?
I mean, they all have the same swings, like the mechanics. Like it's not, they don't play the game for show. They play the game like the right way in all aspects. Like everything that they do means something. Every movement, everything that they do. They're just disciplined, and like I said, they're not flashy. They'll beat you, and just it's like they smile, and that's about it.
Well, and you gotta think going back to, all of the players that have come over.
Yeah, I noticed that in the NBA too.
I mean, they just do great things. Especially, I think Japanese baseball is underrated. I really do. I mean, whenever there's a Japanese player that comes over, everybody, and I know there's been a few that haven't been all that they were cracked up to be, but for the most part, when you look at the great ones that come over, I mean, gosh, I think, what was I watching the other day? Somebody was talking about, oh gosh, my mind just went blank. What's his name? The Mariners.
Ichiro.
Ichiro. Yeah, they were talking about him and how he would have broke every record that there ever was had he come over in a timely manner.
Yeah.
He spent years in the Japanese baseball leagues. I mean, years.
They got a kid over there right now that's like they call him the Trout of Japanese baseball. He's like 21 and he's won 2 MVPs, and he hits the long ball, and it's only a matter of time before he's over here.
Sure. It's the best of the best, and I think this is the new trend. I think that it's going to be something that gets that grows with time. I think that when there for a while it was Dominican Republic, every team just full of Dominican Republic guys, and Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, but I think this is the new trend. I think it is. I think there's going to be more Asian players that come over, and I can't wait to see them, because they come over and it's like they're pre-wired with the right way to do things. I mean,
shout out to Fourth and Flex, Bandy. What's up, brother? We love you too. And I watched on the what was it, the World Cup? What did they call that? The World
Baseball Classic.
Yeah, World
Classic.
Baseball.
My gosh, those dudes,
which was phenomenal
Japan
television.
Those
phenomenal.
That they look different than what was in my head. They look like a fucking team now.
How'd you like the ending of that?
Powerful, yeah.
You couldn't have scripted it better. You couldn't have scripted it better. Oh, it was wonderful, and it was wonderful television, and it was wonderful. I mean, it just was, everything that's great about baseball right on center stage in prime time, and I couldn't even believe that it played out that way. They couldn't have wrote it any better. I mean, it was amazing.
Let me ask you this. When you were sitting there watching that go down, I felt like I had it in my gut that Ohtani was going to get him. You could just feel it.
Yeah.
I didn't know. And, I heard a little bit of grumblings and read some on the internet about how they were they kind of thought it was pretty rough that he didn't come after him right there at the end, and he threw he ended up throwing a breaking ball right there at the end to get him, which I thought, that's a debate, but I mean, he's the greatest hitter of the present modern day game, and you have the greatest pitcher of the modern day game going against each other. How do you? I mean, any way that comes out, he gets a base hit right there. I mean, it could have been better. It couldn't have been better for any of them. Any way it was going to turn out, it was going to be great, and it was going to be something that was memorable for everyone that watched it. I was floored by it. I enjoyed it, and I found myself, I turned it on not thinking I would be watching it or not thinking it would captivate my attention, and I watched 4 or 5 games. I mean, I watched games that have USA in it.
Yeah, I watched a bunch just because I knew Steps was watching, so I turned it on. And then the beautiful thing was, I don't know, how long's Trout been in the league? I saw Trout more in that tournament and Shawnee than I've seen their entire career here in America.
That is true.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. You are right that they don't showcase.
It's terrible.
I mean, you've got the two arguably best players in the game on the same team, and you're not putting them on TV a lot.
And they don't. Well, they're winning right now. What are they? 7-4 right now, I believe.
They probably want you to buy the MLB TV package and all that stuff, like the NFL with the Sunday ticket.
Yeah, you're not the NFL MLB, just so you know. You're just not. So don't act.
I've had MLB TV. It's pretty.
Sure.
It's $20 a month, I think.
Yeah, I bought it last year.
I bought it last year games for $20 a month.
As long as it's not in your market, you wouldn't be able to watch the Brewers games.
But
you could watch
Valleys,
exactly.
Right?
You could watch everything else,
and that's kind of the crazy thing, like you said, is if you're. I bet where do you live, Steps?
Atlanta.
So you're in Atlanta, so you probably don't get to see any Braves games, but you're probably seeing a ton of Pirates or Yankees or whatever. I mean, just like here. I can't watch a single Rangers game. I hardly ever get to see the Rangers or Royals here, but I can usually catch a Pirates or even I can get a Brewers game every now and then. A lot of times I can get a Brewers and Cubs series here a lot easier than I can get a Rangers game. So.
Hey, is the WGN deal over? That's probably been over for a long time, huh?
I don't think that that's still going on.
That's going to be the problem with baseball is how is it going to be accessed? With Bally Sports carries most of the games. I think they either filed for bankruptcy or they're on the verge of. And I think
Yeah, the
Manfred's,
MLB is about to take them over.
yeah, he's
Different
just
market.
waiting for that opportunity to pounce on to create some type of platform where it'll be more affordable at a lower cost, but you're going to have to pay that price
Yeah.
to see the games. You're not going to be able to watch it on cable TV unless, it's on one of the big time stations. So
Yeah.
Bally Sports will be gone and we'll be paying a subscription to watch games.
Well, and I kind
What's
of
up,
feel
Heather?
like
Thanks for
TV
watching.
in general is going to that.
It
The
is.
streaming deal, is kind of the new thing. I hate that because I'm an old school guy that likes to, and I think if baseball had learned anything from the Cubs, they would know that, it pays to put these teams on primetime networks. No matter what team it is.
Yeah.
If you put a team on a primetime network and you're giving them marquee coverage at 3:00 in the afternoon, you're going to build fans.
Hey, how did you become a Cubs fan in Oklahoma?
Well, I mean, it's pretty good story. My grandmother would pick me up from school when I was very young, me and my brother, and we would go to her house, and the Cubs were on WGN at 3:00 in the afternoon, which it worked out. Sometimes 1:30, sometimes 2, whenever the start would be, but it would work out. We would watch the Cubs game, and she would start. She would pretty much go drink for drink with Harry, and about the time my mom would pick me up from after work, that would be it. She would hit the 7th inning stretch and go ahead and shut her down with Harry, and that'd be the nightcap, and that would be her evening.
Yeah,
so
they didn't have lights. They didn't have lights forever.
No, yeah. So what you're saying is they put Chicago on a primetime network and made a bunch of fans.
Oh, absolutely. WGN made more Cubs fans than any. I mean, because people my age grew up watching it. They grew up watching it with Harry. Yeah.
Sean Dunston and
Dunston. Yeah. Oh, I mean,
Mark Grace,
Sandberg. Yeah. Sandberg. Yeah. The Dawson, the Hawk.
That's the only reason why I know a lot of, TBS Braves is the same situation.
Yeah. That's another one. Yeah.
Coast to coast, you get fans. When I go to the stadium, I'm a local, and you figure like a lot of the people you're around watching the game with are from here, but no, dude, they're from everywhere.
Yeah.
All over the place.
No, you're right. Braves and Cubs both, they have a national draw because of the coverage that they received and because people were able to access and I just don't think that they learned anything from it. I don't think MLB, outside of the NHL, it's just not, I just don't think they do a great job at marketing.
I remember doing the same thing, coming home straight from school. School got out like 2:10, and I'd get home and the Cubs games would be on, and you'd be just sitting there watching TV, swinging along with the hitters, throwing the ball up against the wall or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, dude, those were good memories.
Yeah. No, it makes me sad a little bit now. I see young people and they just don't have the same experience, because if you're not buying the MLB network, or you're a young, kid that's growing up in a family that's struggling to make ends meet, the only time you're seeing quality baseball on TV is during the playoffs. I mean, let's be honest. You're not catching a regular season game on regular free TV very often. You're just not.
Yeah, unless you're getting Sunday night.
Right.
Guys, it's we'll be done at 6:30 because we'll have another show coming up, and next week we'll be way more organized and on time at 5:30. This was the first one, and we were kind of jockeying around trying to figure it out. I do want to play a fun video though. Hang on.
Quick move. Oh my gosh, it gets Escobar right in his groin area.
Boy, I'll tell you what.
The giblets.
God.
I need more of those.
That's good stuff.
Do you remember the blooper shows that they used to run on Saturday mornings?
Yeah.
It's like called RBI Baseball, I think.
Oh yeah. That's I could watch that stuff all day. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Poor Escobar. That just remember, it is a contact sport, ladies and gentlemen. Next week when we come on, we will be perfectly organized, American National, and then we will get right into heavy steps betting segments. We don't have time this week, but next week we will start our betting segments, and Eric will be here too. Eric
Did
had
they
an
get to see
emergency.
your video, your
Do
intro?
what? Yeah,
They did. Okay.
I played. Yeah, I started it. I started the show off with the intro.
Okay.
But
Nice.
we will be back next week at 5:30 Central, and we'll have the betting segment and everything in there. Did you do an underdog segment? Did you put an underdog lineup together today?
No, I haven't. I haven't even looked at the props for tonight because I had to get my setup and everything going.
So we'll have our underdog and everything. It'll look like this kind of. Let me see what we got here. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, we will have our underdog picks next year or next week. And I guarantee you Steps will have a whole slate of bets to trail.
For sure.
And if they do want to bet tonight on these games, where could they find you real quick? If they just want to go see what you're betting, Heavy.
So you can find me at gameon.locals.com, at Heavy Steps on Twitter. And then you can find me on Rumble, Game On Heavy Steps. But yeah, action.
You go over to gameon.locals.com right now. If you just go over the Game On channel, you can click on locals, get right in there. And Heavy Steps will have all of his bets posted for tonight, I'm sure. Right? Is that right?
Yeah, I got a few.
Up.
I got a few.
Yep, they're up. You got a parlay?
No, but I messed around. I think I took the under in the Milwaukee game.
We have 1 minute. Can you give me your 3 favorites that you're on tonight?
I'm on the under in the Milwaukee game. I do know that for sure. It's 8.5. I don't know why I'm doing that. Because Bryce Wilson's pitching for you guys, right?
No. Is it? Yeah, the new kid. Oh,
he used to pitch for the Braves. I did take Minnesota money line. They're up 7-0. I took them on the first 5 as well. Top of the first, they're up 7 runs. So there's 2 that cashed. Pittsburgh money line 205 plus 1.5 on the run line for Pittsburgh, and first 5 plus 225 for Pittsburgh. Under 8.5 Milwaukee at San Diego.
Woo. There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
See you at the pay window.
See you there, bitches. Fighting inflation. We'll be back next week at 5:30. This week was a little disorganized. We'll be all squared away next week. I appreciate everybody for watching, and we will see you next week.